Hello everybody out there on the old YouTube land. John Coffee here for a review. Another one. Cracking these bad boys out. Today I'll be reviewing a newer film. It just came out last year. I don't do this a whole lot, but this is a movie I felt the need to talk about. And it is... who directed this bad boy? Good. A Rian Johnson film, and it is Looper. Yes, starring Bruce Willis and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, or Levitt, depending on who you talk about, depending on how they say that last name. Sci-fi film right here. Your plot is this, and this could contain minor spoilers. I don't think they're spoilers, but depending on who you ask, they could be spoilers. But minor. I mean, even if they are spoilers, which I don't think they are, but I'm just giving you pre-heads in case you're like, what? Basically, this takes place in the future, and as Joseph Gordon-Levitt says in the film so adequately, at this time travel has not been invented, but in the future it has, and it was quickly outlawed. And basically, it is only now used by like mafiosos and gangsters, the underbelly of the world, basically. And what they do is they hire these young, at-risk youth, basically, who really have no future, to be what they call loopers. And what a looper is, he stands at this one point in time, and these criminals send back a time someone they want off. And as soon as they get there, they shoot them. They have no clue who they are. They got a back on their head. They cut open the back. There will be silver bars. They take the payment. They burn the body, and in that time, no, this person doesn't exist. So he just murdered someone who technically doesn't exist in this time. Perfect crime, basically. Eventually, though, they have to do something what they call closing the loop, which means 30 years. Well, it's hard to explain. Alright, so one day they're going to come out to the field and they're going to shoot this person in the chest, and when they open the bag on the back of the person, it's going to be gold bars. And basically what that means is they've just killed their selves, their future selves, closing the loop. And that will mark 30 years from that moment. They're no longer a looper, and 30 years from that moment is when they will be sent back in time and killed. So yeah, already your mind's blown, like, whoa. So Joseph Gordon-Levitt is a looper, and one day he goes out and he stands there like he always does, and he gets his pocket watch out and he's waiting, and the person comes through and he doesn't have a bag on his head and he's not tied up, and automatically he knows it's him. He can see right in him. He's like, that's me. Hesitates for a few seconds, and Bruce Willis, who is, both of them are Joe, they're Joes, old and new Joe, old and young Joe. And he throws one of the gold bars at him, smacks him, runs, knocks him out, and thus the movie begins, essentially, from there. We come to learn that there is, in the future, a new head of this crime organization known as the Rainmaker, who is closing all the loops on everybody. And not only is he closing all the loops, but Willis becomes enraged and looking for revenge when not only does he come to get him, but he ends up killing his wife. So now he wants revenge. He has this set of numbers. He's not sure what it means, but he knows it's linked to these three. He ends up narrowing it down to 3 people, and it's these 3 kids that he's coming after. So essentially, Levitt is trying to kill himself, to stop himself from not only killing this child, but also get back in good with the people and can just live his life out the way he wanted it. He wants his 30 years of peace. So that's the plot of Looper. It's not the greatest description of this movie. It's a real tough movie to talk about because there's a lot of stuff going on. But man, I was very skeptic going into this film. I wasn't sure what to think about it. I was like, Bruce Willis, I love Die Hard. I think everybody likes Die Hard. But a mainstream film with Bruce Willis in it, how good can this be? And I was pretty blown away by this film. I was like, wow. Very thick plot, very you know, you gotta sit there and think about it a few times. Like, you're sitting there like, wait a minute, if he kills himself, and then 30 years from now, he gets sent back in time to kill again, does time ever keep going? Well, you know, it's really deep. It's well thought out. I mean, there's not any real holes when it comes to the time traveling aspect of it. Like, they go into a lot of it that I'm not going to talk about because that's major spoilers, and I don't want to spoil that. Just really well done. I mean, it's easy when you're doing time travel stuff to huge plot holes. But what they did intelligently is they set it in the future. So it's not like, wait a minute, that gun wasn't used in this time period. They automatically knocked all that out because it takes place in the future, and they're sending people in the back in the past, even more so. Number one thing I was impressed with this film is the lack of CG. Most of the gunshots are, actually I think all the gunshots are practical. And there's a subplot that begins with, we'll say with a little bit of psychic powers, won't say anything else about it, won't spoil it. And everything that ends up levitating, they use wires. They didn't use any CGI products, and most of the stunts are practical. I mean, very impressed with the lack of CG, and the looper kills are really brutal. They have this thing where they call it blunderbuss, and I think they say 15 feet is its range, but basically it blows a hole through the person's chest, and it's pretty brutal. I mean, I was really kind of surprised by how far this film is willing to go with its violence for a mainstream film, you know, especially one starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Bruce Willis. One negative aspect with the practical effects, and I hate to say that because I hate to ever rag on practical effects, is in order for Levitt to look more like Bruce Willis, they these prosthetic effects on him to build him up to make him look more like Bruce Willis, so you can believe that, you know, this is the same person. And A for effort, but a C in execution, I would say. It just looks weird. The whole time I'm watching the film, something just looks off. And it's probably because I know that that's Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I know that's not what he looks like, so the whole time it's really kind of bugging me. And, you know, some people may not have a problem with that at all. This is just a personal opinion of this. It just kind of irked me a little bit. I was like, you know, they're done well, but it just doesn't look right. Like, I kind of equated when I was watching it is I think it was it Mickey Rourke's character? Or was it Mickey Rourke? One of the characters from Sin City, the one with the big old chin. It was like that, but scaled down. And I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, that's really well done. He actually does look quite a lot like Bruce Willis, but it almost like an uncanny valley kind of thing, you know, like when you see like a very realistic looking doll and it kind of gives you the willies. It was almost something like that. I'm like, I know that's not what he's supposed to look like. But minor thing aside, good acting. I mean, phenomenal work on everybody's part. Willis brought his A game for this film. There's a kid in this film, and normally I hate kids in movies. Like, as soon as his character was introduced, I was like, oh god, the kid does phenomenal. He's only like 10 years old. Like, he's real young. He's probably younger than 10. I think they say 10 in the film, but he looks young. You know, he looks like my nephew McKinley's age, who's about, 7 and 8. Really young, but does a brilliant job. And he really has to carry some hefty dialogue in this film. Like, there's long monologues this kid does that he just knocks out of the park. Very good. Really on it. Was very impressed with that. Levitt, I think he's a great actor. I think he's doing good work. I hope he sticks with movies like this and like Dark Knight Rises. I hope he sticks in this genre of like sci-fi action, because I think he's really good, and I don't want to see him getting out there and do some dumb stuff. And he's already done some dumb stuff, but what else to say about this film? I mean, of course, it looks good on Blu-ray. It's a brand new film, shot high definition. It's gonna look good. Special features on this thing. There's feature commentary with director Rian Johnson and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Emily Blunt, who does a really good job in this film as well. I didn't mention her. Looper from the beginning, making of featurette, 5 deleted scenes of the commentary, scoring Looper animated trailer. And you also have the Science of Time travel featurette and 17 additional deleted scenes with commentary if you get the Blu-ray. I rented it from Blockbuster. Don't own it. but I probably will be picking up my own copy of this real soon because I really enjoyed it. And here's the John stamp, the Hammer 56 stamp of approval. As soon as I finished watching it, I wanted to watch it again, and that is the ultimate compliment I could ever give a film, because it's rare for me to be like, I want to watch this again. Maybe I'll watch it with the commentary. And I was like, I would watch this with the commentary, because I really enjoyed this film. I was shocked by how much I enjoyed this film. So yeah, Looper, if you're on the fence, or if you want to see it, either way, give it a watch. I think it's well worth it. I mean, 2012 was actually a pretty decent year in film, you know, and this was just another example of why. So yeah, Looper, fun action sci-fi film. Give it a watch, and I'll see y'all next time. If I can get this video stopped.